Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We are here today with our first Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. This is where we answer our community's questions. Hopefully you're familiar by now each and every weekend and really able to reach people all over the world. So that's the amazing thing about having a global health community, is that by the power of the internet, we are speaking with people from Australia and New Zealand and South Africa and Iceland and all over Europe and Canada and South America, and then of course United States. Now, there's many countries and continents I left out, so I apologize, but literally, that's the amazing thing, is that I feel like, although I'm sitting here in my office in Boston, overlooking the city, I am grateful to be able to reach many people all over the world with just what I've been able to accumulate in terms of experience and knowledge from many great mentors and books and practice along the years. So hopefully I get to share some of that 20 plus years of experience with you, and ideally that it allows you to find that step that you need in order to move closer to achieving your wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging based goals. So that's my goal with these Cabral House Calls, being able to answer your questions and, again, hopefully giving you that catalyst that you need in order to heal. So thank you for tuning into the show, of course, as always. Now what I want to do is dive right into today's questions. All right, today's first question is coming in from, it looks like 1/30, so January 30th through the beginning of February. So we are 8 weeks behind on answering your questions, and that's pretty typical. So just to let you know, if you write in for the Cabral House Calls for your question to be answered, it's going to take about 8 weeks. I wish it could happen faster, but that's okay. We've got a lot of great questions that come in. But you can get your question answered by simply going to cabralsupportgroup.com. It'll take you to a free Facebook page. You can just click join, and you can ask your question right there from our great health coaching team. Hopefully you'll be there as well to support others, cheer others on as well on their goals, their mission as well, their healing journey. So let's see. First question. Today is episode 1513. So again, you can read all the questions yourself at stephencabral.com/1513 for today. Okay, Aaron's up first. My wife's friend was in a motorcycle accident and has spinal cord damage that left her paralyzed. I'm looking for naturopathic, ayurvedic, or woo-woo modalities that have evidence-based practice for nerve repair. Several searches on your podcast have come up with no results, the closest being to run tests to discover cause for Huntingtons. I've seen video of Chinese practitioners eliminating tumor while being viewed with ultrasound and heard of similar miracles that have seemed to be faith-based. I'm a little bit more practical, but I'm open to possibility. Mantras, herbs, laser therapy, any info appreciated. Aaron, thank you for this question, and I'm in the same exact boat as you. So I am a practical, science-based, prove it to me, biggest skeptic in the world, but I do believe. I honestly believe. I do believe. I believe every type of healing is possible. I really do. And that is because we are essentially energetic beings entangled in this thing called the quantum field. And the quantum field is essentially all possibility, where everything rests and everything activates and moves. So this gets a little complicated. I'm not going to go too deep today, but spontaneous healing does occur. Now, in the terms of paralysis, I don't see it being spontaneous, but again, I have a limited scientific viewpoint. But I have seen all miracles take place, like miracles of every sort take place. Not necessarily in my practice, but it's possible. Nerves can regenerate. They can find other pathways. So what could I look towards? Well, I mean, first I would just make sure that there's nothing stuck in the healing process. So again, I love running the Big Five just because I don't want there to be any gut issues. I don't want there to be any low omega-3. I don't want there to be any heavy metals. So we just basically just make sure, listen, The body's not dealing with anything extra. That's the foundation. Okay. Once that's good, now we look into energy-based medicine. What are some of those things? PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic frequency. We look into negative ion therapy. We look into earthing or grounding. We look into Reiki-based practices. We can look into red light therapy, other types of therapy. Again, I can't give you the answer on this because I don't have the answer, right? I don't have the answer, but I'm trying to point you in that direction where these things are possible, and the mindset seems to be such a big part of it. So you can also look up Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and going to an actual event of his may also be very worthwhile for your wife's friend. All right. So although I'm not an expert in this area, all I can do is refer. That's basically what I can do. And hopefully that's helpful. All right. Desiree is up next. Hello again. I've read that salivary amylase becomes inactive in stomach acid, and also that part of the reason the pancreas releases bicarbonate into the duodenum is to correct the correct pH for the enzyme to function. I know it takes a little while for stomach acid to actually saturate the food so the amylase can remain active in the stomach for 30 minutes or so. Are there enzymes that can function in stomach acid? When taking a digestive enzyme supplement, do all these become inactive when saturated with stomach acid? Second question. I've heard on a podcast that freeze-dried probiotics become reactivated by absorbing the moisture around them, and that if you take them with a meal, that they can end up absorbing bile or stomach acid that is present for digesting food, which ends up killing the bacteria. Is this accurate? If so, can you explain why the CBO is still effective even though all the probiotics are taken with a meal? Okay, great questions. So here are the answers to those questions. The first part is on salivary amylase. Okay, well, salivary amylase mixes with the starches. So amylase is going to break down starch specifically, and it mixes with food. That's why you have to chew your food well in your mouth. Now, it's not going to do too much to a protein, but it will do a lot for a starch. So that's why you also take digestive enzymes at the start to a meal, ideally. It's okay to take the mid-meal. It really is. Stomach acid, as you said, typically begins to be produced about 30 minutes after starting your meal. So that's plenty of time for the enzymes to go to work on the meal themselves. It really is. 30 minutes is plenty of time. So it's essentially what we'll call a moot point if stomach acid kills all of those enzymes. Now, the truth is this. Typically, it does not kill all of the enzymes. It definitely kills some. And stomach acid definitely kills some of those probiotics. But probiotics also work, believe it or not, dead or not dead. But here's the deal. The probiotics that we're using during the CBO-based protocol are actually okay to have with food. I'm going to give you multiple reasons why. We do not use probiotics with the antimicrobials that are typically taken upon waking and before bed. Here's why we do that. If you take probiotics with oregano oil or with clove or with thyme, for sure you're going to kill them. Not always 100% possibility with stomach acid, but for sure you will with antibacterials, right? So for sure you will. So that's why they're taken with meals. They're taken about an hour after your upon waking supplements, and they're taken with food. Now, examples of probiotics surviving in all types of foods would be a yogurt, a kefir, lassi, kombucha. So we know that these probiotics do survive. Now, here's what we also do. We're packing our larger dosage probiotics in something called digestion-resistant or delayed resistant caps. They're just called DR caps. Now, what those caps do is it allows it to survive the stomach acid and then open in the intestines and allow for that population. The last part about the bicarbonates and also bile, yes, that allows then for the pH to be corrected from the stomach acid mixed with food coming into the duodenum. And that actually does two things, though. It really does help break down the food to a greater degree, and especially break down fats and fatty acids. So Desiree, hopefully that answered your question. Thank you very much for taking the time to write in. Dimitri's up next. Hey, Dr. Cabral, thank you for the constant inspiration and sharing of your knowledge with the world. I'm a 21-year-old college student, currently taking IHP Level 1, certified, and working on Level 2 along with my National Academy of Sports Medicine certification. As you did in your early 20s, I have aspirations to build my physique as big and strong as I can for the next few years. If you give suggestions on the most optimal way to do so, that would be great. I just watched your podcast with Ben Pakulski and feel like I could use a more definitive or specific answer to protein intake for optimal muscle growth, but also not too far. Training frequency, how to optimize gut function when taking in higher amounts of calories, and more specifically protein. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Cabral. Dimitri, thank you for writing in. I know exactly who you are because you're a great participant in IHP. So thank you for being such a great member of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. And you're well on your way. I mean, you really are. Around your same age, I was certified as a personal trainer through the American College of Exercise, through the National Academy of Sports Medicine, like yourself. I did nutrition-based certifications. I wish there were things like the Integrative Health Practitioner back then that would have certainly pushed me forward, but I was reading a lot of books. And so you're on the right path, love what you're doing. And just like you know, my goal was natural bodybuilding. So, well, let me just share with you something here. You wrote in on February 1st. I did a show, and let's just find it for you. And it was called The Best Body Type Workouts for Building Muscle and Burning Fat. So check out episode 1476. That's going to be your first one. The second one is to read the book, A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. It's for women too, but my publisher, the largest textbook publisher for health and fitness, wanted to title it A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. This is back in my youth, and I did not know that I had any negotiating power or anything like that, but it's for women too, for sure. But that's going to teach you programs to put on muscle. So check that out. It will also give you a simplified version of a meal plan to put on muscle. Now, again, putting on muscle and growing a big physique is not the same as an anti-aging based program. If I was looking to go back to putting on a lot of muscle, I would be eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's the truth. Is that the best for anti-aging? The answer is absolutely not. But is it more anabolic, raising my IGF-1 levels, if I ate more protein, specifically more meat? The answer would be yes. People are going to combat me and say, oh, but you can do that on a vegan-based diet. And the answer is, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Those foods are still not as anabolic as meat and eggs and dairy. That's the truth. Now, do I think that you should do that? The answer is no. I don't think you should be eating meat 3 times a day. But I'm just letting you know, there is truth and there is being unbiased. So if you're going to eat meat, you're going to eat eggs, and you're going to eat all of those things, just make sure that they are grass-fed, they are pasture-raised, and you're going to be a whole lot better off. So then the question is, how many meals do you do per day? Well, if I look back on it through, and not what I was doing, which is 5 to 6 meals a day, and I was getting ridiculous amount of protein. I was eating 300 grams a day, which is horrible. But again, it worked. I got my 5'8" frame to be 200 pounds, and I am not, the big body type. I'm just not. So my natural weight is about 160, 165, 167 pounds maximum if I'm doing some good training, and to stay lean, that's my goal. So I put on 40 more pounds than my natural body weight, and the majority of it was muscle. Was I healthy? No. So Dimitri, you can reach all of your goals. You can do anything that you want with your body through science, but I just ask you to be careful, okay? All right, Samantha's up next. Dear Dr. Cabral, I've been listening to your podcast for about 3 hours per day lately and driving my husband nuts, LOL. I've been to more doctors than you could possibly imagine, spent more money than you could imagine, and I've run more tests even you could possibly imagine. Thank you, Samantha, for writing in that. And believe me, I can imagine. Remember, for 2 years, I was shuffled to more than 24 different specialists, had every test run, so they thought, under the sun. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. While I have yet to solve my issues, I just know for a fact that these protocols are where I am going to finally feel like myself again. I'm 41 years old, and from the outside, others seem to think that I'm very healthy and fit and active person. What they don't realize is I'm hanging on by a tiny thread. My initial diagnosis was chronic fatigue. Post-pregnancy, I was given Prozac. I didn't feel depressed. I'm being treated for thyroid issues, low testosterone, low vitamin D, take spironolactone for hair loss, medications for ADHD, have brain fog, have poor circulation, low progesterone, gluten intolerance, H. pylori, parasites, leaky gut. I can go from looking like I have washboard abs to 9 months pregnant. I have a sugar addiction. Okay, so I get it. Listen, I understand, and you're asking me how to heal. So I'm stumbling over my words because I know how to help you, but I can't help you in a 5-minute answer of our podcast. And I don't want you to feel like, okay, I'm trying to sell you anything, because I'm not. But you're going to need someone to tweak your protocol every 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And the reason is you're going to have good days and bad days. But here's the thing. Whenever someone's dealing with everything that you're dealing with, gut issues, hormone issues, nervous system issues, sleep issues, I mean, it's everything, right? It's the whole de-stress protocol. So if you haven't read The Rain Barrel Effect, please read The Rain Barrel Effect, because it's going to at least allow you to understand what we need to do to help you heal. You can heal this. I mean, I was the same. Believe me, I had all of this as well. I get it. And I'm not saying like, oh, me too. I'm not saying that like, oh, like I was worse than you. I'm not saying that. Probably the same, honestly. Probably the same. I get it. I was younger when I got these things, but believe me, I get it. I understand. And we see people just like you, Samantha, every day in our practice. So here's what I'd like you to do. It's going to be an investment. There's no doubt about it, but I don't know a better way to help you. And the Cabral house calls were created to give you your best chance. So you can do one of two things. One is you can run the big 5 labs, okay? You can run the big 5 labs with us, and then you get a full plan. However, this is what I would prefer you to do. I really would love you to sign up for our private health coaching program. You will get a call, an introductory call taking your full health history. You'll get customized lab recommendations. You'll get those at the private wellness client price. Then, when your labs come back, you will get a second call, and that will be explaining exactly what your labs are, and then the exact plan that we are going to have you on. Then you do another follow-up call 4 to 6 weeks later to make adjustments to that plan, and also then what to do over the next couple months. I mean, this is what we've been doing, and we have down to a science. We honestly do. You don't have to do this, but I believe that whether you work with someone locally, they have to be a really great integrative health practitioner because they need to know a little bit about everything. Hormones, inflammation, sleep, stress, digestive issues. You've got it all, right? And that's what happens when your body starts to really begin to burn out. I did a show on this, right? I did a show on burnout, right? So, well, that's what I recommend. So, Samantha, that's the best that I can do to help you. And the reason is that I can't give you the easy answer. I can't just say, oh, well, take some vitamin C and things will be good. It's not that easy, but here's the thing. You can't heal. That's what I want you to take away. You can heal. You just need to be able to get on that program, work the de-stress protocol, tweak things when you hit an obstacle or challenge, and you will, and then start to work the process, and you will heal. All right, thank you. Rachel is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. This is a 2-part question. I've been trying to drink more water. Currently, I have a cup or 2 a day. I'm very rarely thirsty. I don't drink a lot of other things either because I do have a cup of soda almost every day. The first question is, how can I drink more water when I never feel thirsty? Sometimes the thought of forcing myself to drink makes me gag. The other question is, every time I increase my water, even a cup, I get splitting migraines. This happens if I drink the soda with increased water, so I don't think it is coffee sugar withdrawal. Why does this keep happening to me? I feel as though I will never get past 1 or 2 cups of water per day plus a soda. Okay, first things first, let's get rid of the soda because it's most likely pulling a lot of the minerals out of your body, and that's what I'm going to get to next. So here's what you can do. You can take that soda that you're drinking every day and begin to turn it into either a black coffee, organic black coffee, if you're doing that in the morning, or you can do something like one of those like Spindrift or other type of sodas that are on the more natural basis, okay? I'm a proponent of herbal tea. I'm a proponent of water, yes, things like that. But if you want to do that, I'm okay with that. If you want that fizzy taste, or what I prefer is have people do something like a San Pellegrino, squeeze a lime in there, squeeze some Himalayan sea salt or pinch of Himalayan sea salt. Here's why you may not be able to drink more water. Because your body is wiped out of minerals. So when you drink more water, what happens is you actually are flushing out more minerals. Very common in the ectomorph vata, okay? But very common in any stressed person. But here's what it could also be. You might tend towards hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. So when you drink more water, a lot of people don't know this, it actually expands the blood, but it doesn't expand the glucose in the blood. So you feel even more lightheaded or weak or get a headache. So here's the best solution. In the morning, you make a smoothie, and you make a big smoothie. 20 ounces of water, 2 cups of berries, throw in some daily fruit and vegetable blend if you want, totally optional. Definitely add the daily nutritional support, 2 scoops of that. Add in some greens if you'd like, and make sure do frozen fruit, or if not, just add some ice. And then you can add a little bit of healthy fat if you'd like. You can throw in some pumpkin seeds if you want, whatever you want, okay? Now, we blend that up. That's going to make about 30 ounces with that 2 cups of berries in there. That's going to take care of minerals. It's going to take care of the hypoglycemia, if that's what it is. And again, I can't diagnose, treat, cure disease, but you know that, right? Listen to the podcast. But that was going to get you another 4 cups a day. And here's the nice thing about that smoothie in the morning. You can drink it over an hour to an hour and a half easily. So just sip on it. Sip on it through a saw, or a straw. And if you do, use a vegetable-based straw or a paper-based straw or a glass straw or a copper straw or a stainless steel straw, but not a plastic one. So what that's going to do is I bet it's going to solve this issue of getting more minerals and getting blood sugar up if it's too low. So there's your 4 cups per day. Then if you want to do a little bit of that San Pellegrino, if you feel nicer with that instead of the soda, you can do 16 ounces of that, some Himalayan sea salt, some lime, and now you're up to 6 cups per day. And it's really, head and shoulders above where you are right now. So hopefully that helps you. That's certainly going to get you well on your way. And let's keep it at that for today. So really enjoy, like I said, being able to answer our community's questions. Thank you everyone for who's written in, and appreciate every single listener out there right now, and that especially includes you. So thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow on episode 1514. Today was 1513. You can read the answers over there. And I look forward to chatting with you and answering more questions tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing rest of the weekend. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.